All right, well, the weather made a slight turn. Well, I guess a detour, whatever you want to call it. We got yesterday afternoon, right after lunch, there was a storm system came through that dumped anywhere. I was hearing anywhere between a quarter and I had an inch here, but just a quarter mile north of here, I was over at this morning I was over at one of my landlords. He had a bunch of stumps he needed ground out, so me and 19 went over there, and that was basically all morning's project, was grinding those stumps. There's like 30 something of them, but anyhow, he only had a ½ inch. I had an inch. I don't know what mom and dad had, but I was hearing anywhere between like a quarter and an inch, roughly. Yesterday, in the span of like a half hour, maybe 45 minutes, and then it got sunny again. And then today is like this, and then tomorrow we got another chance. They're saying a quarter inch, but it's a good chance. It's like a 90% chance of a quarter inch is what they're saying. So now that we got some ground moisture with the potential for more on the way, which I want to actually double check that right now. I want to get fertilizer spread on the hay ground so that project is completely done. Well, now they're saying 80% chance of a ½ inch, which we could use it. That'll finish off the beans that are still green and probably give any of the later fields a little bit of a bump if they haven't started turning yet, which will be more than welcome. So we're gonna hook onto the spreader here. Now, normally, this time of year I wouldn't be able to spread on a Saturday because Helen is closed, but now I've got my own spreader and I am the fertilizer guy at Helena, so all I gotta do is text boss man and say, hey boss man, I'm gonna mosey on down to the old homestead and grab a load of fertilizer, and all boss man's got to say is just make sure you weigh yourself in and weigh yourself out, and that's fine with me. So that works out pretty slick. So let me get hooked up here real quick. Okay, now we gotta go up by the tool shed. Check the air in the tires, give her some grease. The dogs are looking for my woodchuck that showed back up. It's kind of toasty out when you're in the direct sun. It can turn to fall anytime now. At least before it rained yesterday, it was hot, but it was a dry hot. Now it's a humid hot. Now we're almost October. It's time to be done being humid hot, or just hot in general. I'm ready for like 68, 69, 70 during the day, and upper 40s, low 50s at night, some nice good fall weather. I'm ready for that to get here. So anyhow, I got one tire on this thing that needs a tube in it because it likes to lose air. I think it's the rear one over here. Yeah, is it the front one over here? That one. That one. That one's good. So, is this... That's got air in it, so that's good. So let me give her a quick once over real quick, and then we'll head on out for a load. right, off we go. I'll show you how that works when I scale myself back out. I pulled in our location salesman was here. He's picking up his laptop. Feel kind of bad for him. His dad just passed away on Friday. Well, I guess it would have been early or late Thursday night. So, but he seems to be in fairly decent spirits. So, but he farms too. He's just getting into harvest. This probably, well, I know there's never a good time of year for something like that to happen to somebody, but especially not this time of year. So hopefully he comes through okay. But anyhow, I'll get the building opened up here and we'll get loaded up. I tried printing my blend ticket. I'm still learning our computer system. And I couldn't get it to print. I think I'm sending it to the wrong printer, but I've only made one dry blend ticket so far, because obviously this time of year you're not spreading a whole lot of dry. So Monday we'll have to fix that when Boss Man gets here. Only getting 1,200 pounds, so, or not 1,200, 1,400. So I kind of want it toward the back of the spreader, so we should be good. And we're using this blender, so Until the humidity came back up, this floor was all dry on Friday. Get in the little kraut loader because it says deer on the outside and Lee Bear on the inside. And you gotta let the display do its thing before it'll start. So we're gonna get 700 pounds of potash, which is in that bin, and 700 pounds of DAP, which is in that bin. So, where can I stick you? Because there's a lot of plastic in here. I think I can stick you here, maybe. First time I got in this thing, I hadn't been trained on it, or nobody had showed me how to run it yet, and a guy showed up from a different plant. They were taking all of our AMS we had for a spread job, and it took me 15 minutes to get this loader to move because I couldn't figure out where the shifter was. Because I kept thinking, okay, you know, normally on the column is your shifter. No, there's a little rocker switch here in front of the joystick, and it took me a minute to find it. Okay, and then we watch our little scale over there on the wall. Light crystals screwed up, so it'll really throw you off a little bit. See that right there? You think it says 603? No, that's 684. Building was not set up for a loader. They always had, I think they started off with a case uniloader, and then they had a couple different whacker fertilizer specials, and then they ended up with this thing. Take that scale up to 1400. Poor thing needs a bath. That's one of my goals for this week, is to power wash this thing, because it ain't been done in a while, obviously. 1408, it's pretty damn good if I do say so myself. So now, start the conveyor. Quick, make sure some of that potash had some. Boy. Let me clean that off real quick. Okay. So we come over to our little scale printer here, and that was my empty weight, 15,940. So I put that paper in there, and then hit, you get empty, MT, and full, so you hit full. So 15,940 to 17,400. Just to double check to make sure my numbers jive. So 17,400 minus 15,940 should be roughly 1,400, 1,460. So that's good. And then, like I say, normally there's more paperwork that I would have to do, but I couldn't get the blend ticket to print. So I think that's going to the wrong printer. There's probably a I probably went to our other location, and they're probably gonna get in there Monday morning and go, "What the hell's this?" So we will have to straighten that out Monday when I got Ryan here to help me out, because I'm sure once I get trained up on everything, it won't be as overwhelming. But man, the menus and stuff you got to go through on our fertilizer blending software, it looks really overwhelming. And like I say, I've only made one blend ticket so far, because we've only spread one. Well, we spread a few loads of dry since I've been here, but the other ones were already pre-made for us. So I will have to, once we get into some more got cover crop spread and whatnot this fall. Hopefully I can learn that better. But that's our dry building, and then that over there is the liquid building. That's where I spend most of my time because that's our warehouse, and I hired on as a warehouse associate, so that's supposed to be my area. But I kind of, when Ryan, who is our operations manager, he's the guy that, he's really the only reason I even considered coming down here, because you couldn't ask for a better boss. He is the boss that every boss should aspire to be. He's 7 years older than I am, but his dad originally owned all this, and Ryan basically started out as an applicator and worked his way up to now he's overseeing 2 locations, and then there's one guy above him that oversees like a bunch of locations here in northern Indiana. But Ryan's a good dude. But when Ryan's not here, when he's over at the other location, I'm supposed to kind of overwatch the entire operation here. It's supposed to be my thing, so. But anyhow, I see they're doing outbound loads over at the elevators, and I see the marketing chicks there, so I got some questions for her regarding selling some grain for next year. So I think I'm gonna swing over there real quick while I got the opportunity, and then we will go spread that load of fertilizer out. So this, you can kind of see a little bit of my day in life while I'm at work here. Maybe we'll be able to do some more at some point, maybe, if I get permission from the big boss man. Okay, so we were at about a 66 pound bulk density. So let's do 65, and I want about 200 pounds to the acre, so we want about 3 inches. 2, 3, and that's set, and we should be good. get the hays fed for winter. Sometimes you get lucky. Load came out basically just right. Spread everything and I had enough, a little bit left over to double spread, so I spread that back corner there that's always kind of in, and then I made a pass in this low spot right here and double spread that because it's kind of and ran out right there. So can't ask for better than that. Especially it's harder to get a small load of fertilizer to come out right than it is a big load. Sounds weird, but it is. It's just a thing. So, and had a guy comment on the video, or on one of the videos of making hay out here, I'd have never cut that hay that low when it's this dry. You're just damaging your hay. I don't know, man. Regrowth on this looks pretty damn good, if I do say so. And even if it had been dry, you wouldn't have killed it. It probably would have looked dead. And if you had been trying to make another cutting off of it, which I'm not going to, you might have been disappointed. But had it remained dry, hot and dry, basically what that grass would have done is healed up the cut wound from being mowed, put a little bit of growth on so it can maintain photosynthesis, and then put all of its energy into the roots, in storing starch and stuff for energy storage, and it just would have basically made itself, at least above ground, go dormant. And then when it got rain, or if it got rain, it would have taken off above ground again. Otherwise it would have sat there and not done a whole lot until next spring, and then it would have woke up just like normal after snowfall. So the only way that cutting it would have, in that dry spell, would have really screwed you is if you were planning on making another cutting, which I wasn't. There was absolutely no, apparently me and everybody else that mowed hay that week were all wrong in that guy's eyes, but whatever. One thing about it, when you're on YouTube, after a while you learn that no matter what you do, you're always wrong in somebody's eyes, and you just got to learn to say, screw you. So anyhow, that takes care of hay. Shelly said that Teeter and Lily got that woodchuck, so now I got to go home and bury that, which worked out pretty handy. And put everything away and call it a day. And tomorrow, weather permitting, I at least want to get the duals put back on the 4150, and I'd also like to get the grain drill calibrated for wheat. So, but that's going to be weather dependent. If it's raining, and neither one of them is probably going to happen. If it's sprinkling, we could probably make both of them happen. So we shall see. So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bonus shot Chinook flyover.